All right, we should be live. So, we ended last stream generating a to-do list for different phases of things to kind of implement here. So the big thing here to do today, to finish up phase one stuff, AI changes. So the AI floats too much in a particular slot, and we need some more advanced move selection. Right now we have, I think, a pretty good system set up for whether or not it chooses to attack, but we need it to prioritize which moves, because right now it's spamming just whatever move is first in the list, which is not the best. So, yeah, I think the damage calcs, move balance stuff actually isn't important. We're just going to put nah and nah. I think coming back to that stuff later is probably actually better. Because, like, the game balance is actually not terribly important when there isn't a full game, right? This AI adaption thing, though, not a bad idea. So, hey Zilla1998, how's it going? I think we'll start. How do we want to prioritize this? Let me find a piece of scratch paper so that we don't have to refer back to this list in the future. And for any other notes we need to take while we're working on things here. Where are my pens? There's my pen. Okay. So, AI movement. That's the big priority. Right now that's the single biggest problem, followed by attack choices for the AI. So we need to figure out like conditionals and ranking. Basically, which move should it hit first under normal conditions? What other conditions should affect the decision making for it? And then we need tooltips at some point. That can be a third tier thing. Tooltips shouldn't be too bad, just a case of like figuring out what we need to do to implement it. And then it kind of all falls in place. I'm doing good. Got a lot of stuff up in the air with my current job ending and moving soon. Moving next month, but things are coming together, so it's fine. Yeah, and everything else here is really just AI priority shit. So kind of those three areas are what we're working on. So the AI currently we have this system here which works pretty well for if it decides to attack. So I think what we can do here, this is a good place for us to plug in just some adjustments to the enemy AI for not attacking when it's debuffed, for trying to like wait out timers potentially. So let's see here. So specifically, we want weakness and paralysis. So we're looking for global.n.weak and .para. So all we need to do is we can go over here to the AI. We just say, let's add mod D. Let me just say if global en.weak greater than 0. Actually, yeah, let's do this separately. We can make this a little more functional, let's say. If we separate these out. Para. Now these should be stored as like a 1 through 5. So how much do we want to affect whether or not the AI attacks? It should be less than the scale of these other effects, really. Because the adjustments being made here should overrule the adjustments being made for the enemy being debuffed. I think we do this. I think we do mod D plus equals global.en.weak times 4, I think. So if the weakness is maximized at a value of 5, this is minus. We lose 20. Maybe not, maybe 2. Yeah, let's do twice the value. We lose 10 if we're at max weakness. We lose 10 if we're at max para. 20 if both are maxed, which means we still always get a more positive modifier from everything else. Okay. I guess, yeah, this doesn't need to be a conditional, actually, but we'll leave it here the way it's written, even though it's unnecessary, just because, like, we might plug in some different stuff here later. Like, this automatically takes care of itself because it has a 0 condition. In fact, I could just code it that way. You know what? Yeah, it's actually bothering me now that I look at it. We can just do this. Because this is calculated dynamically anyway. And it's not like the speed that this is calculation is going to take is going to impact anything. We'll leave the old lines in here. I don't really care. Then we got to add it here. Kill this debug message. We don't need to see that. Okay, so that there's everything about it deciding to attack. Then this goes to resolve attack. So currently, yeah, so this is what we probably need to rewrite for attack selection. So the question would be, how do we want to set that up? Probably we have to rewrite this entire back end of this function here. Hmm. we get name, we get range, we check if the AI checks if it's stunned and if the distance is correct, and then finds a matching thing. If it can do it, then it does it. That's currently how this code works. So we have a conditional move where target needs to be bleeding. We called that's in the attack dictionary. We called that condition. Global.attacks. Condition. Okay. So I guess one question to think about, do we just add like a priority level to these attacks? Just as a behind the scenes like way to tell the AI this is the attack you should hit first, this is the one you should hit second if you can. It changes kind of dynamically though. Like theoretically. What if we did it like this? Okay, here's an idea, right? We do it by enemy, not by attack. Because theoretically all the enemy characters would be kind of hard coded or semi hard coded. Maybe. Yeah, so like right now we're defining the singular enemy. Here, this hard-coded one. This would be the template that any enemy would follow, including these 9 attacks. Thing is, I would kind of like the option to somewhat dynamically create enemy characters. But theoretically, if I write code to dynamically create an enemy character, then that said code could also handle attack priorities. Right now, we're iterating through the attack list. Whereas attack 1 through attack 9 are the attack slots. There's an argument to handle the priority on a slot by slot basis rather than attack by attack basis. I think for now we'll just do it we'll keep the attack listing as is. So let's create a new variable list or array here called priority. Or let's call it attack priority. And then it will follow the idea of what this top row is, but it'll be just numerically the ordering. So highest priority move should be death roll. Followed by shake off. Those are both conditional, so we want those to be high priority for the conditional checks. If the conditions are met, they should be done. Then fish hook, and then tail slap, and then snap is the basic, which should only be done as a filler. 04213. So snap should only be done when fish hook and tail slap. Well, specifically when fish hook is on cooldown, which is good. Okay. Other things we could plug in for the AI that we write into this array or this data struct here could be distance priority. Where does the AI want to go? Okay, so for the, we'll put the priority in for the Carno too, even though it's not as important. As it's, you know, three two four zero one five, sure. Just so that it's consistent, so that it exists for both. Yeah. So I think this can just be a singular number, I guess. Set a range priority value of 1 because this wants to be at close range for death roll. Fish hook. This is like the optimal thing here. They both kind of want to be close range, which is whatever. Oh yeah, we need knockbacks. Let's add that to the to-do list. Okay, so we've already done this item on the to-do list. This one's done. Let's decision, random range, does he change direction, forward, backward. Which direction does he change to? Okay, player.x plus 400. If close, he go backward. Then if far, he go forward. Just trying to think about where to plug in the range decision. Let's make a little cheat sheet for ranges. So, oops. Oh God. There we go. Distance 400. Disto enemy X. So disto is the distance between the two. So I think it's 400, 500, 600. 400, sub 400, 400 to 500, 500 to 600. So the way we wrote this, if player plus 400 is greater than X. So this thing's current X coordinate should be far along the axis. Oh, hey Lucario Frank, your message didn't pop up in the multi chat, but I see it there in the Twitch chat. This is a RPG battler dinosaur raising game is what it is. Taking a little bit of inspiration from Monster Rancher with like a dash of like kind of I guess management stuff from like something like Stardew with a little bit of like farm management type things, but in the direction of raising dinosaurs, not growing crops. So yeah, let's just do, if I just set this to 0, this should just like never go backwards, right? He should just always advance on me, essentially. Like, on average, advance on me. He still will, like, go backwards. The problem is that usually they float in range 2 with the current AI system. Okay, yeah. So he's pretty consistently pushing forward. That's perfect. Okay. So... well, we've built up a stamina lead. We can try and kill him. That actually kind of worked pretty well, just letting him do his own thing. Well, now we're out of stamina. We're going to die, actually. Never mind. Rip, we lost. Okay. Yeah. So let me make a little, I gotta draw a little thing for myself so I can think about the coordinates here. So if we're at 0 and he's at 400, the distance is 400. Yeah. So I would want this to be global.en that range priority, and we just mult this by 300, and this value here just becomes favored range. So if it wants to be in range 1, then it will only kick in this backwards movement thing if it's at 300. And then if it wants to be in range 2, it will kick in at 400, which is where it was hard-coded originally, which resulted in this AI floating in slot 2, which is the intended outcome. So that should work. And then the only other problem, I guess, is let's do favored range 1 and favored range 2. So we do favored range 2 for the other end. So I guess that's just... Oh, no, this isn't... This is not... This is 200 plus... Yeah. I didn't think about how this worked with the other ranges. Because if this is range 3, this should be 500. Range 1 should be 300. Yeah. Okay. And then this is 300 plus range priority times 100. We just adjust starting value. And this is favored range 2. And then this just becomes favored range 2. Okay, so now the AI should just float towards the slot. So he should just approach me, not always, but generally. He doesn't spend like hardly any time in slot 2. I might want it to vary a little bit more than that. First, let's test that this is working the way we expect it to. If I alter the favored distance for the baryonics, we prioritize range 3. And then we run this. Now he should just kind of stay at range 3 distance and float there. Okay. Yeah, so he floats around the correct range. A little bit closer, a little bit further. So it works. Like, it works the way it's coded, which is great. I want to introduce a little more variance. So I think what we want to do is we want to make them get slightly closer and slightly further away. So we do like 190, 310. And that should expand the time they spend in the other ranges marginally. Let's set them to 2 and just watch the behavior. Range priority 2. Because I don't want him to like exclusively stick to a slot. It's a little too exploitable. We want him to prioritize the distance he wants to be at. But we don't want him to like exclusively sit there. That's looking all right to me. Yeah, he can hit all the slots. He's spending, yeah, he's kind of wobbling around. No, this is pretty good. Okay. So let's set this back to 1. 1 is good. I consider that mechanic complete. That is sufficient. Let's go to the to-do list and mark it complete. So AI spends too much time in slot 2. Done. Okay, let's work on attack priority. That's the big thing. So for the AI attack priority system, we've given it a thing. You know what? There's a much easier way to do this. We don't need to redo anything here. All we have to do is we just have to go to the original data structure and change that. Because right now we've implemented this attack list and this attack priority. But the attack list is only used for tracking like cooldowns and tracking like actually I don't even know if it's used for no, it does track cooldowns. But it's basically used for attack selection only. So like we can combine this attack priority with this attack list just by reorganizing it, which is just that's sufficient. Because the only time the order matters is when it's being iterated through, and the only time it's being iterated through is when we're prioritizing which attack to do. So death roll. Shake off. Fish hook. Tail slap. And then snap at the end. So that's the attack priority. We'll just kill this old one. Actually, let's just straight up delete this old one. Kill the attack priority thing too. It doesn't matter. Why is multi-chat not working? What is going on there? This problem came up before. Hmm. I'll just have to keep an eye on both chats. That's just how it's gonna have to be, because I don't know what multi-chat's deal is. Alright, charge. Paralytic. Devour. Headbutt. Threat display. And kick is the low priority. Okay. Let's just run this. Okay, shake off a tail slap. Fish hook, good, good. He went for fish hook. He didn't go for snap. That's perfect. He should be okay. Death roll, which is not actually legal, but we haven't implemented that yet. Dude, he ain't landing shit. Let's go for the fucking kill. Oh god, he's going hard though. He's panic mode. Yeah, he got me. I like that. That's pretty good. That you could see like the AI desperation mode kick in and it just starts spamming shit at the end. That's great. That's perfect. I'm actually shocked at uh how well the AI system we've made functions with how simple it is. Surprisingly decent. Okay, so yeah, now this is going through. So now we need conditional checks. So if global blah 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 blah, if array contains range, if the attack is valid. So what we want to do, probably add another check here. If condition check. Something like that. So name 2 will get us the attack info. And that should be all we need. So we'll test this on range 1, because we should only ever see death roll happen from the berry when they're already bleeding, because that's the condition. So now we need to implement this condition check function as a return true false. Logic checker. Do we go to scripts where our functions live? I already forgot what I called it. I think it was condition check. Yeah, condition check. Okay. Global.attacks name condition. This is what we want. So the condition is this. The logic returns 0. Turn the logic. If the cond equals, so this should be, we just said this works with bleeding, so we just need to see the exact syntax we put into the attack dictionary for requires bleed is specifically what we put here. So if the condition equals requires bleed and global.pc.bleed greater than 0, the logic is now 1. So that's the main check there that enables death roll timing correctly. We also need cleanse checks. cleanse check equals... Oops, what our taxer should be effect. No, it should be if global.attacks name effect. Double checking that syntax. Oops. Effect cleanse with a capital C. Okay. If global attack name effect equals cleanse, let's do just a nested if check, I guess, for this. If global.en dot bleed greater than 0, or weak or para or what else was there? Bleed, weak, para. What else did we implement? I can't remember. Let's just go to the full list. Oh, we can check the icons. Weak, para, fear. Yes, fear. Right. The fear. Bleed, weak, para, fear. Weak, stagger you can't clear anyway. Para, fear, bleed. Yes. If bleed greater than 0 or weak greater than 0 or para greater than 0 or global end dot fear greater than 0 and you're doing a cleanse move, then the logic is also 1. The logic equals 1. If something has both of these checks, how would we implement both? If we have a conditional move that has a cleanse effect, how do we implement that so it only happens if both are met? Without having to nest the one check inside of the other for every category. Hmm. Okay. So, um, we also need to add this because otherwise this would break. So if the condition is none, the logic is 1. Make sure that's correct. None capital N, that looks right. Okay. So if it checks the logic for using an attack, it finds no conditional, the logic is 1. And if it finds cleanse, the logic is 1. And if it finds bleed for this, then the logic is 1. So this just, yeah, so we need some different logic here. Logic 2. Logic 2 equals 1. Okay, so we implement a second logic check, which is a 0. If the effect is a cleanse, we need a toggle for check logic 2. Check logic 2. So if cleanse, check logic 2 equals 1. Now we know this matters. We check what the value is. If the value is converted to 1, the move will fire. If not, it won't. And then we do if check logic 2 equals 0. Just return the logic because we don't care about the cleanse effect. Else isn't, yeah, elifs don't exist. So we don't even need the if statement. It's fine. If check logic 2 equals 1, get in the habit of doing the parenthesis thing. We need if this should just be a double nested if logic 2 equals 1. Return the logic. Right, because check logic 2, this could say, hey, we do need to cleanse, but the condition could still not be met. So this could be returning a 0 or a 1. If logic 2 equals 1, return the logic. Else return 0. Right? That should be correct. Let's put little 1 or 0 based on attack condition. Check if need. Cleanse tells us the move cleanses, and we are checking that shit. Return 0. Don't use move because no need cleanse. Right. So yeah. Check logic 2. True. Yeah. So if 0, return the logic. If 1, return 1 or 0 depending on the other check. Otherwise, return 0. Correct. Should be correct. I guess we shouldn't say it's correct until we actually run it and make sure, but this should work. So now we need to see the AI actually do this. So the goal here, we need the baryonyx to fishhook and then to death roll. Okay, shake off should not have triggered. There's the fishhook. Okay, but it's already broken for sure. because he shook off. He should never shake off if we're not attacking. So why did he do that? If so, so this was okay. Let's look at this. So shake off effect was cleanse. Check logic 2 becomes 1. There's no effects active. So logic 2 remains 1, 0. So we have check logic 2 equals 1, logic 2 equals 0. The logic is 1. Okay, then we reach check logic 2 as 1. If logic 2 equals 1. Oh, wait a second. I think I might know where the issue lies. Do I? Well, I had a thought anyway. So oh yeah, right. We only implemented slot 1. Never mind. If condition check. That's the only time the stamina is deducted. And then the attack resolution is where the accuracy check is performed. This is range and requirements. Yes. Okay, let's fully implement it for all slots. Okay. Back to the salt mine. Let's see what we get. So we'll advance on him. Okay, that was a tail slap and he missed. There's the fish hook, it connects. You should want a death roll now, but he doesn't have the stamina. Okay, he death rolled. It worked. Fish hook, slap, a snap. Okay. And we died. I think we bled out. That was pretty cool. Interesting. The bleed was still active there. That's not really consequential. Okay, we got fucking bodied. The debuffs. Getting destroyed. Tail slap. Fish hook. Okay, the death roll missed. We died. We never see the move that kills us, which is fine. We haven't... Okay, so let's try and see if we can get him to cleanse a hit. So if we threat display, that probably should force him into going for the... Okay, shake off. It worked. He shook off the status effect. That was perfect. We gotta get away. Get back. Ah, we died. Dude, I think the Baryonyx is better than us. I think his moveset's just stronger. Because we pretty consistently lose, never mind the bleed carrying over. Actually, the stamina generation difference also hurts us. Like, we can win, but my god, does it not happen much. Miss the paralytic bite. Go for the headbutt. Oh, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. Yeah. Again, like, 30 HP left. We get destroyed. Fucking consistently destroyed. Alright. Fun. Fun. Okay, cool. I'm really happy with how this is coming together. Maybe the next step is to try and not make it look like dog shit. But I just don't have that capability. Okay, so this is done. Conditional checks complete. Deprioritize basic attacks is done. AI doesn't cleanse if not debuff. Done. So the remaining phase 1 checks are the pop-up tooltips and the knockback effect. So let me steal a icon. So we need some sort of icon to add for the close range knockback mechanic. We could steal a Xenoblade icon. I don't want to take anything directly from a game. I'm okay with grabbing random PNGs from like stock photo shit, but let's make our own. Okay, currently editing an icon, which is why you can't see me doing anything. I'll be done in a moment, which is why I'm not bothering to show it on screen. Fit canvas to layers. All right, icon is made. Let me put it in my little assets folder. Shut that down. Okay, new sprite. The knockback. Importing an image. This. Boom. Okay. Creating object. Oops. Okay. Thinking about how I want to implement this. Bro, why am I only just now, an hour later, getting the Stream Elements update that I'm actually live on Twitch? What the fuck? What is going on with OBS/Twitch? What the fuck is this is a new, I didn't even like register that the little like pop-up update never popped up in multi-chat. But why the fuck is it an hour late? I don't understand that. So, do I want to generate this dynamically, or do I want this to just disappear when it's not in use? I mean, for one, it's already too big. Remember how to rescale it anymore. No, that's the direct editing. Oh no, it is here, right? Because we do this. We scale this to maybe half size, and we call that good. Okay. Okay. Let's just see where that is. It's just easier to like visualize it than to okay. Not to visualize it. I mean, easier just to look at it than visualize it. The other thing to consider is one thing I haven't decided is if the enemy attack should be on screen or not. I've just kind of been undecided on if that information should be available to the player or if the player has to find it the hard way. I think for now I just leave it be. But all right, so let's steal the info from these guys. Object.get sprite. If bleed 0, sprite index equals origin index, else sprite index equals this. So yeah, let's jack this shit. We just port this straight into this. Add a creation. Same deal. Get the original index and save that off on the object. Boom. And then the condition here is disto. If disto sub 300, I guess. We'll see. We'll see if that feels right for when the button turns on before we like make the button do the thing. Let's make sure the distance check is consistent. Where was I using the distance calc? In here? Yeah. Okay, so this should only appear when we're close. And it should appear, we have to be closer than when these buttons turn green. Okay. But it did it did that one. Why did it do that one? Oh, because this is bleed icon. Duh, because I just didn't change this. O dot knock or O underscore knock. Okay. So yeah, it appears correctly. Um, yeah. So we had a left released here as well. I don't know if the disto needs to also be here, but I guess I'll put it here. Disto sub 300. And you're not staggered. Um, okay, let's make this very dramatic for testing purposes. So in theory, I can click this; it does nothing. We're gonna let him get close to us, so that we can see if the knockback does its thing fully. Yeah, knocked him back there. Actually, 300 is like the correct range. I was thinking that was exaggerated, but actually it should knock it back to max range. Okay. Dude, he bodied us so quickly that round. That's crazy. Okay. So this works. Now we need to check for it being at max range. Uh, wait, do we? Wait, what happens if we just push him back continuously? Like what actually happens? Maybe it actually has built-in thing where it can't go beyond the boundary anyway. Like the internal game engine logic might take care of this. Kind of looking like it might. Nope, he does disappear off the edge. Okay, but there's definitely like I can't just walk backwards, right? We coded that in, didn't we? I can't just leave the map. Yeah. Okay, so whatever the left press is on my movement, that like syntax works. X greater than 0. Well, yeah, obviously. And we can't move past the enemy. Yeah. Wait, the enemy definitely used to be able to walk off the map. So there should still be a limitation here, right? Outer bound 1100. 1100 equals outer bound. Okay. So we need to just do, we just go here. We just do, yeah, this is just simply if x greater than 800. That should be it. So now if we push him back, malformed if statement. If, oh, yeah, I did a bracket on accident. Assignment operator expected. What else did I break here? Wait, what? Object enemy event step at line 15. Oh, at some point I hit fucking D here? When did I type a D in there randomly? What the fuck? Okay. Weird. Okay. Push him back, all the way to the edge before we die. Before we die, we're bleeding out. Get him. Push him back. Keep pushing, keep pushing. One more good push. One more good push. Oh, he still disappears from the edge. He's also trying very hard to like phase through me, it looks like. Which is interesting. Okay, so why was he able to be ejected? If X. Oh. This is the X for this button. Jesus. Yeah, the one place where I need the thing. Duh. Okay. Not too concerned really about his apparent possibility of phasing through me there. Because it might be him just jittering up against the boundary and it kind of just looks like he's pushing in. Okay, yeah, no, we've got him trapped. Okay, yeah, no, when we push up against the actual boundary here, he essentially freezes in place. He just jitters a little bit. All right, let's try and kill him. We're actually kind of doing it. Oh, maybe. Nice. Get in there for another devour. We could win this one. We can do this one. We're getting it. He's getting destroyed. He's getting destroyed. Look at the debuffs. We just gotta seal the deal. Oh no, we're fucking bleeding. Oh, it's so close. Fuck. Fuck. No! Kick! 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 We did it! We beat him! We won! What an ordeal. We had like a huge advantage from me just not doing anything, and then it's still like the balance needs a little work. But that's not dissimilar to like a Monster Rancher game where sometimes the best thing you can do is just not attack for a while. Let the enemy burn themselves out on you, kinda. Get an advantage. Alright, so this all works. So the last thing I kind of want to do is generate text. So we were generating text from the layout. Draw text at coordinate. Okay, let's just see if this shows up at all. I don't know if this works when it's not a draw event. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Okay, we're gonna absolutely fucking bodied, by the way. Holy shit. Okay. um I think we could just do maybe a draw event. What do we do for the layout? Draw text under draw. Let's do a draw. Let's try it. We do a draw code. Do this. Okay, but the button doesn't show anymore. It works, but it doesn't show. Why? Draw self? Do I need to draw self there? Unclear. Yeah, okay, there we go. That works. And it functions. Dude, there's the Twitch message. That message... Wait, why is it... Yeah, that message was like an hour ago, exactly. Wait, why is multi-chat on an hour delay with Twitch? Like perfectly an hour delay? Wait, that's what? What the fuck? That's completely nonsense. What the fuck? What a weird... Okay, we're gonna take a quick deviation to try and figure out why the fuck chat is on an hour delay. Yeah, dude, I don't know. What the fuck? All right, well, whatever. Um, Hmm. Well, shit, I don't know. We have very few missed frames. I don't see any, like, other issues. Yeah, I mean, every time I search for like anything with like OBS issues, it's just a thread where somebody's like, "This is my problem," and there's no help. Um, we're just gonna assume this is a weird temporary hiccup and not worry about it anymore because fuck it. All right. So what coordinates do we want the word knockback to be put at? Kind of like 700, 630, something like that. Okay, it's there, but it's behind the text. Um, so I need to adjust the layering. Um, draw text, X, Y, and string. Does not give me a layer. Yeah, I understand layering. I just need to know what the fucking command is. How do I set the text depth? How, dude, can anybody actually say what the fucking syntax is for adjusting depth? People just keep saying depth. Yeah, no shit. No fucking shit. Obviously. Must be set before the draw event runs. If you change it during the draw event, blah, 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 draw sprite. Draw self. Yeah, but that's the object. So I guess the trick would be to set the depth for the object, because I don't know how to set the depth for the text. Can I just call depth? Yeah, depth equals, I don't know, -1. Actually, I can check the depth for the buttons and just clone that syntax. That's the easiest way to do it. This is probably wrong. I think -1 is going to be in front, I think. Yeah. Draw, spread index, disto, dummy attack, draw self. But the, wait. Oh, but these are generated by layout. Probably add a depth? Draw text. Draw text transformed. Draw text. Draw self. Create depth. 160, 10. 9. Okay. So if I just set depth to 10, that should be the same depth as the buttons, which is clearly in front of the background, but not the text. It's still behind. How the fuck is it still behind? It's because this is already existing, right? That's the problem. Yeah. This doesn't really do anything, I don't think. What if I put the draw self before the draw text? Does that do anything? This is something I need more intuitive understanding of anyway. Doing this experimentally over just looking it up is probably not the worst. Okay, that actually works. That's pretty good to know. It should be moved in both directions marginally, so let's just move this by increments of like 10. I don't think this depth here matters. Let's comment this out. Let's not introduce adjustments where they aren't really needed. Okay, so 10 was a little bit too much in both directions. Let's do 705, 630, I don't know, 3. This doesn't need to be perfect. This just needs to be mostly centered and I'll be happy. Okay. Presumably this is the Y direction, right? XY, one would assume. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. Knockbacks are done. To-do list, knockback, done. All right, tooltips. Hover tooltips. I want to show a little text box, blah, blah, blah. You make instances invisible like this. Write your text box system shouldn't be too difficult, or even text over sprite. If position, mouse X, mouse Y. Okay, let's just steal this. Let's make a new object, new invisible one. Object, tooltips, tooltips. Fuck, I can't. It's not allowed. It's wrong. Tooltips. Okay. So put this under step. If position meeting mouse X, mouse Y, ID. What is ID? Asset.gmo object. Wait, this is maybe ID is for like the attack. If I add a step to this button and I just put this in here, what happens? Well, all my text went black. Does the text only, I mean, this is draw set color, sure. Okay, that is interacting though when I pan over it. Interesting. Okay. I can see what to do here now. So let's do let's just set this in the middle of the screen. Okay, so yeah, this doesn't currently work. What if I put this under a draw event? Oh shit. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so the step we don't need. Kill this. Delete the step. So mouse X, mouse Y, ID. So this just works, which is fantastic. So let's make a black text box. Let's keep the X alignment the same. Draw a rectangle from X minus 32 to X plus 32. X to X plus 32. Set the color, draw the text. Okay. Let's not set these colors at all. Oh, I did just set this. Yeah, let's just not do the rectangle. If we want to draw this at specifically okay. Yeah. Actually, this no, we're better off hard coding the Y position. Yes. Yeah. X can be X. That's good. Maybe. Eh. Maybe not. Let's look at this. So the offset here is pretty good. Maybe. 100. 100, 600. Okay, 100, 600 is the first one. So 100, like 550 hard code. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Get text of name 2. Actually, we probably want to send all this, except for player. Current accuracy, current evasion, current damage, current defense. Global.pc.dam, and then the modifier for weakness and paralysis. Enemy defense. I actually probably only need the accuracy and evasion. Get text name 2. I probably need name 2 to be defined here too. Maybe. Okay. So this should convert the attack dictionary to a readable form with an estimate of the current accuracy. So hit chance is this. So we want this calc here. Also in here. We need guts correction. This specific version of guts correction. So guts correction, hit chance, which is the attack hit times attacker accuracy, this. So this is a number. This could be a string. Let's not make it a string. The chance caps at 100. All right, so let's just borrow an attack from the attack dictionary. Just as a visual aid. Okay, so the text equals print and Eva. Name 2. Okay, great. Yes, the text equals I think we'll break this into 2 rows. Text 1, text 2. String of hit chance plus 77. So, like, for example, 70% hit. Do I want that to be consolidated or do I want that more wordy? 70% chance to hit. Accuracy 70%. Critical. Crits. String 2 is currently just the description. Just debating the other effects to put in here. Let's run this. Let's see what this looks like already as it stands. Invalid token. Oh, because this I did Pythonic syntax because I am a dummy. Okay. This is not set up to work actually. Hold on. Malformed if statement. Oh, I did a Python again. Whoops. Malformed assignment, if statement assignment, that's the same thing. Unexpected symbol. I think that was all the same error. Yeah. Okay, but that's not. Error in action number 1 of draw event, variable unknown object string not set before reading. Hit chance, string of hit chance, global.attacks. Right. Uh, uh, Wait, why is this broken? I don't see it. Oh, wait a second. Yep. I did another Python. God damn, dude. I can't stop doing Python things. Okay. Cool. We got dynamically updating hit chances. That's fun. Okay, that's sick. That's pretty sick. That's pretty good. Um, so we can do better descriptors for the attacks. Drains 12 stamina, crit 12%, crit 0%, drain 0. That's threat display drain. Drains 8, crit 8. 57, crit 16, drain 16. Crit 4, drain 4. 20, drain 8. Wait, these are duplicated. Because I said crit, not drain. Okay, drains 10, crit 12, 0, drain 20. 8 drain 0, 16 drain 5, 4 drain 15, 20 drain 10. Alright, sick. Look at those accuracy. That's why we lose. Fucking paralytic bite is a 40% chance to hit at best. That's terrible. This is why the Carno can't win a fucking fight. Headbutt's the only thing with good accuracy. So we should be just going for headbutts ASAP. And then if we miss headbutt, we're cooked because everything's on cooldown. Everything else sucks. Charge! No. We're super dead. Okay. Anyway. Cool. Okay, so let's go back through. Okay, let's go to the to-do list first because we've implemented tooltips. With live guts correction. Now let's go to the attack dictionary and fix up the descriptors. We can make them a little more flavorful. Heals equal to 50% of damage dealt. Attack that can stagger the enemy for 3 seconds. An attack with a 50% chance to stagger the enemy for 3 seconds. Weak attack. Causes paralysis 4 for 15 seconds on hit. %50 chance to stagger. 50% chance on hit to stagger the enemy for 3 seconds. Basic attack. Non-damaging move that causes fear 3. Non-damaging move with a 70% chance to cause fear 3 for 10 seconds. Charge. Move up 2 ranges. Move up 2 ranges and attack. Did I miss headbutt? Percent chance on hit. On hit, 50% chance to stagger the enemy. On hit, move back 1 range and 50% chance to stagger the enemy for 3 seconds. Yeah. Cause paralysis 4 for 15. Basic attack, non-damaging. Fish hook. Bleed 3 for 10 seconds. On hit causes bleed 3 for 10 seconds. Snap. Basic attack, snap your jaws. I like the descriptor. Pick the target with your claws. What claws? That doesn't sound right. Kick the target is pretty basic, but it's kick. I mean, what are you gonna call? What are you gonna say it does? Kick at the target's body. We'll apply weaken 2 for 15 seconds. Alright. Move up 2 ranges and attack. Non-damaging move with 75% chance to cause fear 3 for 10 seconds. Basic attack, kick at the target's body. Non-damaging move with 75% chance to cause fear 3. Heals equal to 80% damage dealt. On hit, move back 1 range, 50% chance to stagger. We died. Paralysis 4 for 15 seconds on hit. Cool. Cool. That looks good. Just you now? I don't know, maybe. It's been pretty dead in here recently in chat. But that's fine. I'm making good progress on things. Do we want pop-ups for the status effects, or do we just let those be? We bled out. We bled out, died. Okay. Cool. That's everything I want for phase 1. I mean, that's the full battle system. Some elements of it are like not fully implemented, like some status effects aren't in, but like for this 1v1, it's the full thing. It just doesn't have, real animations. And like the calcs may not be. Do you think they should be below the health bar? What do you mean, like the pop-ups for like what your attacks do? Because this is just telling you what the thing you're hovering over is doing. This isn't telling you what you're actually doing right now. Yeah, the status effects would be nice to have a timer for those. That's on the to-do list. The reason I don't have a timer for them is I probably want to implement the same thing where it's the little clock countdown type thing, but with the icon, and so I have to make those, and I just haven't done them. It's holy crap. We took 58 damage there at the buzzer somehow. The Baryonyx is like way better than the Carnotaurus. It's not even, it's like no contest. I don't know if it's just the move set. I mean, we get penalized because the debuffs don't clear after a round, but like we also just get destroyed. I'm gonna connect with the headbutt. Nope. Oh, I got the headbutt. Oh, get back. Retreat. We are faster than the Baryonyx, so we can technically do like some hit and run shit. Maybe that's a way to play it. Well, anyway. I could also just nerf the baryonyx. Yeah, let's see here. So phase 3 is like full tournament. Let's start some more details. Debuff timers and tooltips we'll add to phase 3 when we revisit the combat. We need to remove. Actually, let's just say reset status effects at end of round. I like that phase 5 is crackbot territory. It really is. This is like, honestly, phase 5 as written here is like, if this is a real game we're selling, then phase 5 happens. But so I guess like phase 5 is just more animals, but so this is really phase 6. Phase 5 is like animal implementation. Crackbot territory is adventures and hybrids. Nerf enemy reaction time. It's not bad. I think it's fine. Because we do have it set up where they don't spam attack anymore, and that does a pretty good job of like it not being an issue. Like if we just let him attack, like he attacks not that often. Like we could be attacking that often too. I mean, the problem there is he killed us in 4 hits. I didn't see how many of those hit, but it's pretty brutal. I think the big thing right now is just honestly the Chronotaurus is just not very good compared to the Berry. If we wanted to tweak it, probably the thing to do is to look at the attacks. Like, the baryonyx is like the bleed effect into like the kill, the death roll and stuff is pretty good. Let's just batch add 5 to all of his attack damage. I kind of like the lack of accuracy for the Carno moves. It feels good in terms of vibes. There. We did a batch boost to all attack damage. All right. Well, let's start thinking about phase 2. So phase 2 is implementing. Let's break this down here. The ranch, raising, weekly scheduling, feeding systems, discipline systems, stress, lifespan, maybe money, maybe crop growing systems. The fights are supposed to be pretty quick because you're supposed to have a whole tournament bracket like of like 6 fights or 8 fights or something, depending on what the scale of the tournament is. Like the fight duration is exactly the same as Monster Rancher. 1 minute. Also, if you lose a fight, like the fights are typically not supposed to end in knockout, which is that's something we need to tune a little bit. But the clock should be the primary thing that stops a fight. So the damage values are too high right now. So yeah, I guess the fights are too quick, right? If we're not timing out the clock, or actually getting knockouts mostly, then yeah, we have a problem technically. But it's a balance issue, not a mechanical issue. So it's not a huge thing. Oh my god, we can win. Kick him. Kick him. We bled out. We bled out. No. We got him to 4. But yeah, if you get knocked out in a fight, there's a chance of death or injury. So you we should be tuning things so that knockouts are going to happen. So probably we need to go through the damage calcs and kind of nerf everything, and flatten it out a little bit. We could look at that. I mean, for now, we could literally just cut damage by 50%. This should be the only two damage calcs. Let's see how that feels. Back off. I got tail slapped. Bleeding out. Bleeding. The bleed is going to be proportionally more effective now, too. Let's go for the charge. I don't have the stamina to charge him. He's got too much stamina. He's gonna kick my ass. I gotta get the devour. Get the devour. Gotta land it. We need the heal. Ah. Okay, that was a timeout, I think. That was like the full minute, right? Because we ended at 9 HP versus 48. Nobody died. That actually worked out pretty well. Okay, we went for the 1-2-3 combo. Now we have no stamina because of it. Now we're going to get picked on for a little bit. Let's knock him back. Try and keep some distance so he doesn't make me bleed too much. We don't want him to death roll if he gets in slot 1. That was a death roll. They missed the death roll. Huge. Oh, he's desperate. Get him back. We got the fear. He's scared. Good. Let's go for the devour. Okay. Didn't land. Didn't land. Oh. 5 seconds. Oh, we're cooked. No, we bled out. We bled out at the buzzer. No, we got him to 3 HP. It's pretty good though. Yeah, that's the thing with this is like nothing is 100% accurate in Monster Rancher style games. So, one thing we should do is we should add the guts cost, the stamina cost to the attack tooltips. Because that actually doesn't tell you that anywhere currently in game. So this is cost. Oops, syntax error. Execution error. Okay. I'm not sure what's wrong here. Cost plus, oh, this is not, yeah, okay. This is not a string. That's why this broke. Easy fix. Because this is already inherently a string, so we don't have to stringify it, but we do have to stringify the number. Yep, there we go. Okay, that tooltip's a little long. I think we should move this to the top line. Yeah, that's not bad. Drains 15, costs 25. Okay. Let's see if we can steal a nice big picture. Well, that's perfect. Okay. All right, we're literally gonna. Did I not save this? Oh, it's probably not the right image file type. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is just stolen from a Monster Rancher game, by the way. What sounds more unpleasant, lobotomy or forced trip to Florida? I mean, I've been to Florida and it was a nice trip, so I'm gonna go with a lot of lobotomies, much worse. I would never want to live in Florida. I would never want to stay for too long or stay during the wrong season, but it can be okay as a tourist. I went to watch a rocket launch with the girlfriend in her first trip to America. It was also like May, so it was like the perfect time to go because it wasn't too hot or too crowded. Okay, so what I want to do is we're still going to keep this starting in the lobby. So we have this battle start button. We're just going to duplicate this. And this is just going to take us to the ranch. Where we can't do anything currently. Why don't we go ahead and put our little Carnotaurus, our big Carnotaurus in here. Oops. Mr. Carnotaurus hanging out at the ranch. There we go. I didn't actually add the button. Let's move this up, move this up. So I believe the text is controlled by the lobby layout. Draw text. Uh, Why did it now disappear? Weird. Um, huh. Honestly, it would be easier to bake the text into the friggin' buttons rather than add the text dynamically. It would be a little hard for potentially resizing stuff, though. This was like 6:30. Oh, there it is. Oh, duh. It counts from the top. I just sent it off the bottom of the screen. Jesus. That's why it disappeared. I'm stupid. I also sent this to the wrong direction. Okay. Okay. Now the other one's gone. Wait, how did that... Oh, I betcha... Do I betcha... Is it actually just falling behind the button? I think so. Unless I typoed. Maybe I typoed it. Yeah, okay. So for whatever reason, this button's layered above. So is that... Did I set that... Position, scale, frame, image speed. I'm wondering if I set the layering manually on this button originally. And if so, how did I do that? Because I don't remember this. Huh. These are all in the same layer here, instances. So I don't know why. Wait, properties depth. Now I lost it. It was there. Shit. Where was I? Where did I see that? How did that come up? Fuck. Wait, no, this is the layer. Depth 100. Depth 0. Depth -1. That might just fix it, actually. No. Oh, I went the wrong way. Depth 5. No, it's still putting the text underneath. Why? Okay. That's probably being controlled within the layer. I don't... Okay. I'm gonna do weird shit now because I'm very confused as to why these would be different. Yeah, same one is still layered back behind. Is it literally because the button was added to the lobby last? That seems crazy to me. Okay, what if I just do add event, create, code, depth equals fucking 10. Depth equals 15. That works. Fuck it then. As long as it works, who cares why it works, right? That won't come back to cause horrible problems later. This is probably supposed to be about 720-ish. 720-ish is a little too much. 710. All right, 715. Okay. Okay, so do I want to make a bunch of different buttons, or do I want to make like dedicated buttons for certain tasks? Hmm. Branch layout. Actually, we do draw, not create. Well, whatever. The create can stay, I suppose. Fuck it. Probably should have just put that on the other one, but who really? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not important. Okay. Actually, this allows me to control the depth. Actually, putting this in a different layer is good. I think. Maybe. Um, yeah, it's a draw event. Okay. If we just do this, we should have a little name tag. Great. Let's do set color. This tooltips object doesn't do anything. Let's kill this. We ended up not using this. Let's just not start putting too much junk in here where we don't need it. Okay, so this should change the text color to black so it stands up better on the background. So we'll start building the UI, I guess, first. Why not? Let's be rebellious and do day, month, year format because that makes more sense. All right, so we've got that. Yeah, it's off the bottom of the screen somewhere. We should actually check the size of the thing. So 700-ish is probably about good. Okay. Could you nuzlocke this game? Essentially, yes. Not exactly the same as you would like a Pokemon Nuzlocke, but there's also a Nuzlocke challenge for Monster Rancher, which should be applicable here. Like you could generate random dinosaurs, and then permadeath is already a feature in these kind of games. So, um, yeah, and I would. So I'm a big fan of Pokemon Nuzlocking. So I do want to have like some different difficulty settings in the game, which would include things like maybe every time you hit 0 you are killed instantly, right, as opposed to it being a chance to die at 0, which would make nuzlocking more of a thing. So I do want difficulty settings that are going to enable a nuzlocke mode for sure. I think some randomizer or remix type difficulty options could be fun too. I kind of want like a little bit of a roguelike vibe with the difficulty settings where like it's the kind of game you could put 500 hours into over the course of 100 runs or something. I don't know, not 100 runs, but some large amount of runs where you tweak the different settings to like have different play styles and you play through it and it's different every time a little bit. Monster Rancher is a little bit like that, but a lot of it is fixed. I want it to be a little more dynamic and varied for sure. All right, so yeah, money tracking, creature discipline, um, date, time, etc. I want to display stress. We're just putting in placeholder stuff. So stress level for the dinosaur, current age. Then we need the menu options, which will hard code in on the other side of the screen just temporarily. Which is somewhere around 1100. I need to think about how I want this to be configured. So there should be a train option that should overrule the schedule. There should be a rest option that overrules the schedule. Then there should be your default, like whatever you put into the calendar to do. You can battle. We can use an item. Visit town. Let's call it inspect ranch, I guess. Save function. Options menu. Actually, we should just put these under like an escape button type thing. Let's just put them. We'll put them in the UI for now. Should be edit calendar or schedule or whatever. So yeah, you'll schedule like a daily, weekly, whatever schedule for your monster, your dinosaur, I mean. And then every day you can just click the follow schedule button to execute it, or you can overrule it and take individual direct actions like attend a tournament, or to like override on a rest or like a training regimen thing, or use an item, or like visit town. Should be kind of everything we need. Something like that. Might put the mix masters separate from the town. Because I kind of want there to be, like, there's not just what your dinosaur can do for the day, there's also what you as the player can do for the day. The idea that if you, like, your plan for the day is to go visit town, then you're not able to go visit, like, the mix masters or walk around the ranch and do chores, personally. Okay, so these can be moved over a little bit. Let's just try 12 on training. 12 might be a little too extreme. Okay. So there's sample UI elements. We would want to implement, buttons then to execute these different subfunctions. And obviously, all this other stuff here would actually update based on what is happening. You would have some sort of fun idle animation or something for your dinosaur walking around the environment, which would be some sort of rendering of a 2D environment you can personally walk around if you do the inspect ranch option. It's the idea, at least. So it might be better to just generate functions with the buttons and then generate them like dynamically, maybe, rather than create a bunch of buttons, because I don't want too many. Like, we're already got a good amount of objects. Does dummy attack do anything? Like, what is this? I don't know. That might be nothing. Okay. This is now ranch actions. Yeah, let's control it all with the layout. Um, so there should be syntax from here for creating buttons. No. Yes, instant create depth. That's what we're looking for. Um, let's just steal the vars layout here until we decide what the vars are going to look like for each of these. Um, okay, so the button's there. down further. We'll fix the other pieces once we get them in. 150. Oh, I'm moving the wrong one. At some point I started moving this one. Okay. Let's move this slightly over 140. Okay. Function. So we just need this button to pipe through what function it executes when we create it. And that should be good. And then we just do this for like everything. We can implement these like one at a time. So if we move this by 30, then we move this by 30 to 40. How's that look? So the button's pretty heavily aligned. Let's make this 50 and this 60. Still too much overlap. Oops. Okay, that's pretty good. I just bug checked and made everything weird on accident. Oh, it resized itself back. Great. Okay. Okay, so 20 to 70, so plus 50, 120, 170, 220, 270, 320, 370. Okay. That looks good. Rain rest sketch. Okay. So these go 10, also plus 50. So 110, 160, 210, 260, 310, 360, 410, 460, 510. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. That's a sufficiently crude full UI. Should I make the Carno like walk around? uh is this the what did I put in here? This is the player icon. Wait a second. Okay, he doesn't move though. No, this is the sprite. This is literally just the sprite pasted in here, not the object. Okay, good. I'm not going to bother animating it to walk around. There's no animations. It'd just be sliding back and forth weirdly. Okay, basic layout. Let me look at my ranch again. Let's think about what we want to implement. Oh, well, the first thing we could simply do is send the tournaments button to the lobby. That way we can at least navigate back and forth. So we go ranch action, add event. Left release. Right released. Um, the dinosaurs or the buttons? Funx, Funx is what I called it. So we just do if funx equals Perny. Go to lobby. Okay, that works. Oh, but the text here is not black. So I think what we need to do... Wait, but is it black in the lobby? Hold on. Go to ranch. Yes. So we do go to ranch layout. We steal, however, I made the text black. Draw set colors, see black. Then we go back to the lobby layout and we just presumably do this. Nice. Okay. So that's the first button done. We could start some sort of basic training action. Okay. Thinking, I guess we want to do something analogous to this. But we need a new button. Training type. Um, okay. Does that work? Kinda. Kinda works. Okay. Let's not go so crazy. Let's make this depth 21. Nope, still no text. Oh, it's because it's on a button press, right? Like this won't do this. Right? It just doesn't draw the text? Yeah. Okay, so we don't draw the text here. Instead, we draw the text on the button. Add event, draw text, draw cell. No text. Still no text. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now it's being drawn, but it's being drawn like twice. Can I set it to an insane depth and then will it work? Now it just disappears, which is interesting. But there's still no text, so that doesn't achieve anything. Interesting. Yeah, I still don't have an intuitive understanding of this depth system. Like, I get it. I understand how it works. I just don't know how to intuitively interact with it to, like, not run into this shit where I have to, like, experimentally get the text to show up. Okay, so this is not... This creates the training button at a depth. 21. If I set depth before this, well, just fuck it, do this. See what happens. Okay. Yeah, man. Every time I have to like relearn it. This is the first time we've like made a button generate another button. The draw works. The problem is once again the fucking layering. Okay, what if we do... I don't think this will work, but we might as well try it. So I'm setting a depth here. If I set the depth to be like really deep. Now it's just behind everything. I don't know what the background depth is. I could look it up. Apparently it's maybe like 100. But that doesn't affect anything. So this creates an instance of this object at this particular depth. The object itself is trying to create its text. I can't do it. Well, I mean, it can, but it can't get the layering right. That's the problem. All I need is a good way to like control the text depth, and I'm just fine. I don't know why this is so unintuitive. Instances are ordered based on death prior to the draw event starting. Uh-huh. Okay, so if I just add event, create, and I set the depth. Oh, actually the depth should be shallower. So on create, the depth is set to 10. Shit, that's the wrong thing. Yeah, yeah. Training object, add event, create. Okay, and then we assign this a depth of fucking 10. I don't think this works. Yeah. Because the depth is still being assigned before the draw event, which is the fucking problem. Yeah. This doesn't matter. Drawing text on the creation won't work, I don't think. I think I see my fundamental flaw here. I think I'm too hung up on what the interior of the object is code-wise. Draw self is literally just generating the sprite. Yeah, okay. No, I get it now. I was too like hyper focused on the code side of things, but the draw events execute sequentially. So this is already. Yeah, I was thinking I needed this as essentially like an execute option, but this is not execute like the sequence of draws. This is draw this object's actual sprite, literally draw itself. But that doesn't control any of the other stuff it's drawing. So if I want to control text being over it, I just put this first. That's it. That's all I've ever had to do. Fuck me. All right. Well, it's easy at least. Um, how's the position actually look? Okay. Sure. Okay. So the function effect passed over there. So this should be train plus function. Yep. Great. What's it actually called internally? Is it called HP? HP damage, defense, accuracy, evasion. 550, 200. And this was set to be 541.90. So 541.90. So that should be fully generic. An HP damage, defense, accuracy, and evasion. Okay. Uh, there's a destroy self thing. Where do we use it? We use it somewhere. The attack animation destroys itself. Instance destroys self. So theoretically, now when we do training for HP, okay, it destroyed itself. Then we go to the tournaments. HP 105. Still 105. Because this is being recalled and resetting. Yeah. We need a true title screen to move these things to. Okay. Just making a game splash screen, so to speak. All right. New sprite. Title screen. Import. Invalid name already in use? Wait, what? Okay. Was it? I don't see a title screen, but sure, man. All right, there's our title. Okay, then we do object, create new object. Create GML code. That goes in there. Is it in there? Oh, that's not the room. Okay, that goes in there. Lobby layout stuff. So the draw stuff here is all good. all we want to do is we want this to not be controlled here. The cooldowns is maybe fine. Is it? Wait, why are these like double defined? Cooldowns. Oh, because these are ported inside. No, yes. Okay, this is now controlled here. Let's duplicate this. Go to lobby. Wait, I don't need to duplicate this. Scratch this. Because we can use the same fucking button. Yeah, we just to ranch button. Yeah. Lobby layout. Draw. Go to ranch. Oh, this is still starting. Yep. We need this to be the default. Title screen. How do I make this the default room again? Ah, like that. So now in theory, okay, go to ranch, the button sends to ranch. Okay, tournaments. Okay, battle. Sick. Just works. That easy. Okay. Okay, so this is like 670, 300, 330. 670, 330. Okay. And now if we train and we train HP, and then we go to the tournaments, 468 HP. What the fuck? Huh? What? 460, 468. Why was it? Is it repeatable? 204. I don't get it. You would think that since it destroys itself on click, it couldn't like repeat. Show. Not. Okay, so what is happening here? We click the train button. We click train HP. It's happening a billion times. Why would it? Do that? You would think the left release would be more accurate. The thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if it cloned itself on button press, except for the fact that it's set to destroy itself as well. That's the thing that surprises me, is that it's able to do that multiple times. Out of curiosity, what happens if I put it behind the destruction? Because if it's able to repeat itself without destroying itself, what happens if it destroys itself and... 174 HP. Yeah, so it's still adding a bunch. Weird. I guess it's because the button presses are sort of queued up. I think all we need to do is we go to the on create. No, we do the ranch action. If function equals train. Global.training equals 1. Global.amTraining equals 1. Then we go to training. If global.amTraining equals 1. And set it back to 0. Crashed. Ow. Global variable in training not set before reading it. Really? Though? Global.amTraining. Did I capitalize it? If global.amTraining equals 1. What? Function equals train. Global.am training equals 1. What the fuck? Okay. What? Oh, because I'm on write release specifically. Yep, 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 yep. Uh-huh. Yep. Okay, so one more time into the breach. If we go to the tournaments tab, 105 HP, we go to ranch, we go to train HP, 106. Okay. Okay, but it didn't delete itself. Why is it not deleting itself now? 107. Okay, it's incrementing correctly. Uh, is it because this is set there? I wouldn't think that would matter. What the fuck? Why won't it destroy itself now? What? Okay, but like, I have a theory. Multiple buttons are being created. It's the same glitch. It's the same issue. The button compress is creating 10,000 buttons. Only one is being deleted. I can do this. This will work. It's kind of shit. Like, it's not good. It's technically a memory leak. But it fucking works. You could see it lag there actually just by spamming this to create like a billion buttons. Yeah, dude. I have to actually trigger them individually. Huh. I understand what's happening though. Um Okay, well, I think I'm gonna wrap the stream up. A little shy of 4 hours, but um, time's at a premium anyway, so I think it's fine. Good progress today. Again, I feel pretty happy with where we got. It's looking more like a real game, even if a bunch of stuff isn't fully coded yet. But I mean, we finished phase one. I didn't necessarily think I would get there. I didn't necessarily think I would have hit some like insurmountable roadblock that would result in like me not being able to like finish all the major features of the battle system I wanted. So I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with what we pulled off here. Wait, that message just came through on the multi-chat from the Twitch bot. Exactly an hour late. What the fuck? But I think it does. It's not on the video. Yeah, so all I just do is I just don't trust the multi-chat for the Twitch messages. Well, anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for the stream. Um, so, well, let's update the to-do list real quick. Phase 2, implement the ranch. Underway. Raising underway. Weekly schedule no. Feeding discipline, stress, lifespan, etc. Money, crop growing, question marks, question marks. Underway. So let's put in some more specifics. Specifically, progression of time. Randomized stat growth. Stat growth values. It should be gain. Growth and gain are not necessarily the same thing. But the ranch specifically. Dude, look at how I spelled specifically. I don't know how I typed in that much garbage. I'm leaving it because it's funny to me. So we had the progression of time. We had stat growth values. You had randomized the stat gain. Yeah, and I guess for the start of phase 2, it's just you can battle whenever. So that's yeah, implementing the ranch. Training. So these are specifically the things for training. So yeah, I think we'll do more like detailed breakdowns as we go through the different things. All right. Yeah, let's end the stream here. If anybody still sticking around, thanks for sticking around. Next game dev stream will probably be Thursday next week because I'll be traveling Monday. Not like flying, but I'm coming back from a music event, so driving. I'm probably not going to do stream the day after I get back because I'll be gone all weekend and like meh. So yeah, so Minecraft tomorrow's the last stream for this week. Nothing on the weekend. And then then Minecraft the week after that will be the first stream of the next week, followed by game dev.